Alright guys, Paige here doing another video on some boots that I am now put it through its paces. It's been about a year. These are the Moab 2 by Merrell Tactical. This is the Merrell Tactical line. Merrell Tactical. These are great hiking boots as far as Merrell makes great hiking shoes, and they went into the tactical boot line. These are a pair. They use the vibrant soles. As you can see, I've used them. They have about a year's worth of use. I'd say this sole probably has almost a year to 6 months more use before they would be completely worn out. But I am doing a review on them because I've had them for a year, and I'm retiring them today because I finished work and last night after working a 12-hour shift, actually a 13-hour shift, and they're no longer supporting me. You can see right here, I've got some sole separation really bad. So I don't give these boots a high ranking after only a year where the sole is actually starting to rip off of these boots. It's still attached, but water seeping in and it's leaving my heel wet and my front toe wet. So my feet are getting wet wearing these out in the weather, or just even coming across water on the floor. If I step in it and if it's a little bit high, my feet are gonna get soaked. So you've got separation there too, and there's some separation throughout the boots. And that's just working 12-hour shifts on your feet most of the time throughout the day in law enforcement. And these boots did pretty good comfort wise, but as far as glue to sole to the shoe, I'm not giving it that good of a rating. The comfort's there, the quality, the materials are somewhat flimsy. You can see splits all on this material, and I kept this in good shape. I clean them all the time because these boots require a lot of maintenance to make them look good. They're just made out of this material that looks like crap after 2 days of not giving them some attention. It starts to look gray and it starts to look really bad. This looks black because I've shoe polished the crap out of it every I'd say once a week, to be quite honest. You can wipe them down, but maybe once a week you have to add some liquid black shoe polish to them to make them look presentable for duty work. And that's why these boots still look so good, because I did use a lot of shoe polish on them. But you can see how the material is pretty rough. Some of this rubber netting that's stuck to the boot has ripped off in areas. You can see the sole has chipped away in areas, and it's just really bad throughout the whole boot. This material that's on the toe where you step, that's starting to rip on each side. You can see the hole right there, and there's rippage on the other one. So these are weak spots right in here where you step. It just starts to rip the material. You can see general worn out soles where they're starting to rip and scuff and just fall apart. This one is the one that's separated really bad, and water's coming in pretty bad. See, some of the rubber netting is ripped off, just deteriorated from wearing them for only a year. That's splitting pretty bad there. You can see that. That split pretty good. On the other side, it split more. It's split in a couple places where that's just ripping apart and it's starting to split all over the place. So quality of the materials, I'm not really gonna say it's the best in the world. The comfort's there. The look is there if you keep them clean. They do look nice. They do look nice with the uniform if they're cleaned up and you darken that gray look with some shoe polish, because that stuff wears off and it kind of looks bad. But if you shoe polish the crap out of it, it looks really good with the black liquid shoe polish. But I still say there's about 6 months to a year's worth of use out of that sole on the bottom. It's getting close to the end time on the heel, and maybe on the toe, but there's still a couple more months of use. But like I said, they're not waterproof anymore. When I step in water, they leak. They made it a year. I'm not sure if I'm impressed for the cost of them, because they're over $100. I think I should have got more life out of them. I've bought cheaper boots that have lasted longer, but they were comfortable. They looked good, but I think the materials are a little bit cheaper cheaper, on the cheap end. You can see split there. They're just, you can see they're just dry rotting and falling apart. It's like, it's either they use really cheap materials that last about a year, because they did make it a year, but they're now starting to fail quite dramatically. It's starting to rip and split in all kinds of areas. So I don't know. They're good boots. They're comfortable. I hate to say anything bad about Merrell, but I like the company. I'm not here to make anybody look bad. I'm just here to tell you what I experienced with what boots I use and my honest opinion about what I experienced with them. And these overall, I give them a 10 for comfort, but quality of materials, these are just going downhill extremely fast. They did really good up until about 9 months, and then the last couple of months they've been going down, splitting heels and sole separation, material just ripping and tearing and falling apart from normal wear and tear. It's not anything, that's just normal wear and tear where these are ripping, and it's ripping on both sides. Right in this with this material, they could have used a better material. It's like this, I don't even know what to call it. It's not polyester or whatever, but it's ripping. You can see the rip right there. I mean, it's completely ripped. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's worth the price. If these were like $60 boots, I would give them a higher rating. Comfort is a 10. Overall longevity of the materials, I'm gonna say maybe a 6 or a 5. I wasn't that impressed that they're falling apart in different areas and sole separation all over the place, and that's pretty bad. Water's getting in. You saw where this is still wet. You know, it's wet. You know, I wore it yesterday, last night, and it didn't dry overnight because so much water got in there. It rained here, and I'm just not impressed, so I'm taking them out of service. I have a couple other boots lying around I can put to use. But that is my review of the Merrell Tactical Moab 2 8-inch side zipper boot. That's going to be it. You guys take it easy.